Previously on T-Man 978.
Right now I'm going to be unboxing this figure that I got from Entertainment Earth. It's G.I. Joe Mezco Snake Eyes with Timber.
T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. Right now I'm going to be reviewing Mezco 112 Collective G.I. Joe Snake Eyes with special guest Timber right there. This thing comes with a lot. I did a whole unboxing video where I showed the packaging, so I'm going to get this out of the way. And I briefly showed all this stuff, but I'm going to reiterate. He comes with a lot. I'm going to start with the things I did not take out because they're just too small. In fact, that came out of the section. But you see he has 6 throwing stars and he has 3 of each type. He has these kunai right here, and he has grenades. So then they have, are they different varieties? No, they're all the same, but they're so small I don't want them to get lost. Here's this 3-section staff right here that's nicely painted silver and connected by a metal loop right there. Nicely detailed. Well, you see that detail right there on both ends of each section. You get this basic sword sheath right here. You get the basic sword that goes in that sheath. There's the handle, there's the sword. You get the Arasakage sword sheath. That looks like that. And it is kind of pliable. And you get his Arasakage sword. It kind of has what looks like a bird tip right there. And it looks like that. We've seen this sword a bunch, especially if you collect classified. You get this combat knife and the sheath for that. You get extra magazines for the pistol and the submachine gun, and that suppressor fits inside of both. The gun is detailed, as you can see. The magazine is removable from the bottom, and I'm going to take it off of handheld for this part right here, but this can slide back. So that's cool right there. And here's this gun. It has some paint up there, paint in the back. I don't know if this does anything. For some reason it seems bent, but that comes out and it has the bullet on the end. And of course the blast effect has the bullet. Here's these twin blades right there. A hand with throwing stars being launched. A hand with a smoke grenade, or just a grenade, but it has that smoking effect on the end. And down here he has the throwing star holding hands, like kunai holding hands, martial arts hands where that has like a claw type shape, open gesture hands or pushing hands, the relaxed hands, the regular, no, these are the sword holding hands. These are the gun holding hands, and he has 2 fists attached to his body. Of course you get Timber, and let's go into him. And outside of that, we get the G.I. Joe stand with that removable peg, the little baggie, and the actual arm that can hold him up in jumping poses. Now let's get into Timber. Timber is nicely detailed. I like the detail or the paint on the nose to make it look shiny, and the paint in the eyes. And you see the color variation on the fur. It's not flocked or anything. It pretty much has the same joints as a Hasbro animal. They've released several different types of animals recently, but this part right here, well, how they did the ankles is not great. And the Hasbro animals typically have a hinge in the tail. This is just a swivel, so don't try to bend it up and down or you might break something. But the hind legs go out that far. They come forward about that much. They go back till about there. This hinges that way. I don't believe it rotates. A Hasbro animal would rotate right there. This rotates or hinges right here. And the foot is on a swivel right there. It's not an up and down motion. That's the part I don't like. But up here, these legs go out that much. They go back that much. They come forward. Till about there. You do get the swivel here. And the legs go back that far and up there. Hinge right here. Hinge back there. And you get the pivot right there. Now this is the horrible part. That is ugly. There's no way to pose this because these feet don't angle down. You would want to kind of have them angled that way and then angle the feet down, but they don't. Because they're just on a swivel post right there. Like, you can rotate them, but that's not useful. You get this ball joint right here, so it can go up that much, come in that much for, I guess, some type of semblance of a sitting pose. This comes down that much, goes up that much, and the head can do that, shift side to side, rotate, and this comes off easily. But we've seen this face. Let's pop this one off, pop this one on, and it feels just like popping the head off of the actual action figure Snake Eyes. But look at that detail right there. Awesome. Awesome. And note that his ears are down, whereas these were up. And then we have this one, where he is all the way enraged, and you should definitely be scared. But look at that detail. The ears aren't down anymore. They're going to the back, but they aren't down like this situation right there. But all of them are great. Now here's Hasbro's timber next to him. He has the detail of being scraped up, so some type of animal or something scraped them up. But they're basically roughly close to the same scale. In fact, let me lift these legs up some more. Oh yeah, this one is ultimately bigger, but roughly about the same scale. Both of them are very detailed, very painted very well. The face on both of them, I think, look very good. This one has the shiny paint on the nose, and it has a better range of motion, like pretty much all over, and it can hinge the feet forward and back, which definitely freaking helps with posing. And it has a hinge and a tail. So the Hasbro one wins out ultimately to me. Not that this was supposed to be a comparison review, but there's a comparison in here. It is Junkyard. Oops. The heads can't be swapped on the timbers because the ball joint is big on this guy. But here's Junkyard versus their timber. In an attempt to try to get his front legs looking normal, you can spread them wide and use that pivot. But that's about the only stance I think that will make the front legs look normal. And that is unfortunate for me. Now for Snake Eyes. As you can see, they went with they went like half with the super duper retro and kind of modern. So the upper body is kind of modern, but he has the baggy pants with more modern boots. Like, classified series figure pretty much has on like army fatigues and boots with like the toes in the boots, and the upper body is more athletic ninja looking style. So they tried to do something like that with this, but this looks more like a real guy in a suit. So this would be the main reason to get him. Take note of the stitching, what that looks like back there. And yeah, aesthetically, let's put him back here. First thing pulling him out the package, and even still now, I had to be honest with myself. And honest with you guys. I think his arms are too short. The forearms, the biceps are cool, but the forearms, I feel like they should be longer. Like, they basically, I don't know, are these able to shift up and down? No. But I feel like they should come down longer. His hands should be like at least to here. At least I know I can touch. I can almost, standing straight up, I can almost touch my knees. Maybe my arms are freakishly long with my fingers, but you know, here he is standing up. The midsection, that grabbed me too, because I'm used to Snake Eyes being like a slender ninja type guy. So to see him with a wide midsection is off to me. And the head kind of looks big. Maybe it doesn't to you, but it kind of looks big. Those are my gripes aesthetically. And I kind of wish they did something different with the faux leather parts right here. If maybe they were only on the shoulder, and maybe if he had like a more armored look like the classified series figures have, maybe that would have been better. Or maybe you could just stick with the classified series figure. You won't keep wanting stuff like that on this. Now, questions I got in my unboxing. Can the timber head fit on anything else? I'm popping his head off. No, the ball joint is too, or the ball joint socket is too big, but you can balance the head on the neck right there. So you could do something stupid looking like this. But it definitely can't fit on the other timber because the peg is crazy small. Another question or comment that was in the unboxing is, can this belt come off? And yes, it can. It unplugs right there, which loosens things up. And you can basically lift his arm up and lift this. I'm going to pop his head off to make it easier. Lift this over the neck and pull that off. And now, here he is without the grenade belt. Looking more like a regular generic superhero or supervillain. So there you are. That, of course, you can't store your sword anymore. But back here on the utility belt down there, we can plug this in. And put the sword in. The sword does not sheath in here tight at all. So if you turn him upside down, well, knife, sorry. That knife doesn't stay in there tight at all. You turn him upside down, that's going to fall out. You get him like this, it might fall out. Here is his gun holster, which is painted up. It has one of these deals where I hate this type of thing where you're always worried that it won't snap back into place. Now this gun fits in here snugly. You gotta pull that back over to plug it in. So far so good. It feels like, or seems like it snaps well, so that's great. This pouch right here, I pushed it all the way up his leg. If you have it anywhere in the middle, it might start sliding down, which is frustrating. The sword sheaths, this one, the Arasakage one, I can push in like that. I like to have it like about here-ish. And we can store the sword in there. Or maybe that's actually, that's too high. So let's put it about here. There we are. So this is what he looks like with that. Well, we can pull that off. Now this one, here's the ridges in the bottom right there and that right there. I like to store it about here-ish. This one you gotta like, seems like you gotta push one side in and then get the other side in. See that? And now the sword stores like that. So that's what that looks like. Alright, let's show you what it will look like down here on the last one. Maybe you like that look. I don't know. I wish it was like more in the center of his back and maybe a little bit higher up. But let's get into the articulation and then I'll show examples of him using and holding weapons. But the head is on a dumbbell. It can look up a great deal with just a dumbbell. Can't really look down, but it can tilt side to side freely and rotate. Use the neck and he can look up even higher, which is great. Use the neck and he can look down and do that and do that. But this is one of those deals where you gotta make sure you don't pop off the neck at the base. This leathery situation is tucked down in there, so it will start like coming up. The shoulders, they can go out to there. Now, if there's a butterfly joint in there, I can't really tell. And of course you can rotate up as well. I guess he can get all the way up, to be honest. Their material is usually good. You can go back. You can rotate at the bicep, double jointed elbow, universal joint in the wrist. It can move mostly freely. One thing I was trying to mess around. He does not have like a wrist communicator, which I'm used to him having, especially since he can't talk or doesn't talk. Anyway, in lieu of not having butterfly joints, you'll have to pull the arms back like that to fake like he has at least a reverse. But as far as getting the arms in front of the body, he can't really do it that great, to be honest with you. The mid section, I'm gonna move both. There's a joint at the top, joint at the bottom. You can go back a great deal. You can come forward a great deal and tilt side to side and rotate, even though he has on these clothes. So that's good. The legs can kick out that far. They can kick forward that much. If you want to make it look, maybe this is in the way. Let's try this leg. Yeah, what's stopping it is this thing right here. You have to slide that down. But it can kick out 90 degrees. If you want to make it look higher, you can use his ab crunch, but yeah, you can make it look higher by using the ab crunch. You do get a thigh rotation, double jointed knee that bends like that much. Let's try this leg. No, it goes up higher. What's stopping this one? I think the bottom knee isn't bending. Yeah, there we go. So he can't do that. Now, I don't know if I would consider this swivel down here or boot swivel, because the pants are going down into the boot. So, and this is a free moving part. And the leg or the ankle is on a dumbbell. So it's a ball going into there and a ball going into the foot. So it can go back about that much, come forward about that much. You do get that much ankle pivot. The foot rotates. If you want to get any more forward motion, you got to twist this. And then you can push the foot up and hope no one is paying attention to the armor being shifted. You can kick the foot back further as well. These aren't the most tightest joints, but there you go with that. My review of the articulation, he is supposed to be like a ninja athletic type guy. I wish he had more articulation than he does. And the arms and the proportions being off. Now, when I get the weapons in the hands, he'll probably look a little bit better. He looks better to me. All right, here's an example of him using not only the throwing star hand, but the stand right there. So that's cool right there. So he's jumping in the air and throwing all the throwing stars at once. And I put on the open gesture hand or the pushing hands right there. Here he is throwing a grenade. The 3-section staff. It has several names. You can look it up yourself. There's a whole wiki on it. The twin bleeds right here. Full disclosure, I was heating up his ankle because I made it loose trying to rock it forward. So I wanted to get it back in shape. And I had these in his hand and this one got warped. It didn't just like warp, like start drooping it. It actually shrank. So it's even smaller than this one, which is unfortunate for me. Holding the regular sword with 2 hands, it is very difficult getting these arms in front of his body. I'm not even gonna lie. It's not even blocked by anything. It's just the way the arms are designed, and I'm not even gonna blame the fabric. It's the bicep swivel is so high, like trying to rotate it, it's bumping into his torso because that's so wide. His pecs. There's a Rashikage sword with the martial arts gesture hand right there. Both martial arts style hands. Holding one of the kunais and the throwing star. Like this is a specific hand for that because all the fingers are clenched except the index and the thumb. The kunai hand is good at holding the grenades. It's like the right size. Sample suppressed pistol pose right there. Shooting the SMG with the bullet. And this is the only effects piece that he has. Normally they come with like 3. And I believe that's it. So time for comparisons, and this is very disappointing right here. It's more disappointing on his end, I think. Roadblock should have been taller. But seeing Snake Eyes the same height as Roadblock is weird. Destro is typically a taller guy as well, so I don't know if all these are going to be the same height or what. Here's Classified Series Grunt and Sergeant Slaughter. And yeah, it's a tall body as you can see. But should Snake Eyes have been on a tall body? I don't remember these two being basically the same height. So, he is taller than Roadblock technically, and Roadblock is technically tall now, standing him next to this Sergeant Slaughter, because Sergeant Slaughter is definitely a taller figure compared to the average G.I. Joe Classified Series figure. But Snake Eyes, I'm not used to Snake Eyes being so tall. So just know, now with that comparison, he is big. Here is the Classified Series movie Snake Eyes. And if you wanted to see this, here is the movie Snake Eyes head. It doesn't pop on there. It's just the neck is the main thing keeping it on, but that's what he would look like with the classified series head on this body. Here's the classified series 00 release and the regular release. Here's my Palm Treasures Villa figure. And here's what he looks like on the Ram Cycle. And this is it. This is it. I was going to try to find my Commando Snake Eyes that came with Timber, which should be in here, but I'm tired of filming right now. This figure is just okay to me. It has all the issues that I mentioned earlier. I don't want to try to dig that back up. I already harped on that. The dog or the wolf, he would be great if the ankles worked different, but since they don't, this part right here looks ugly, and it is a challenge. It makes posing him a challenge because you can barely do anything besides the pose that I have him in right now. So that's aggravating. Now the Snake Eyes, with all the things that I did mention, when I start putting the weapons in the hand and posing him, he is way more fun when you do that. But just standing there vanilla, he doesn't really look all that great to me, to be honest. And that is frustrating. But it's still a decent figure. It's just not great. It's not what I would expect for a Snake Eyes. I would want him to be more posable like their Gomez figures and have one of the bodies like that instead of this more stiff body. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here. And here is the classes.
Figure action. That one's me. Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description. Click the videos. Click the videos, baby. Click the videos.